Welcome everybody to this session together with Crunchfish. As you all know, we are going to present some information related to the annual report and then also some other information and updates that might be of relevance to you. But the prime focus is obviously the year that we have left behind us now. I'm Göran Linder. I'm the chairman of this company. I've been that for a couple of years now, a bit more than a year, actually. And I have experienced a rapid development of this company that will surely be reflected in the presentations that will be given to you here during this session. This is it's going to be a special format. It's called Pechakusha. I don't know if probably not correctly pronounced, but anyway, I don't know if you're familiar with that format. We got 3 Pechakuchas going for today's session, and the first 2 of them will be with starring our CEO Joachim Samuelsson, and then we will have a third one starring our accountant and auditor that will present her view on well, primarily the figures. So hopefully everybody is sitting down comfortable and ready to enjoy the show. So I leave the stage to you, Joachim.
Yes.
So this will be, as Göran said, 3 Pechakuchas, 20 slides, 20 seconds on each, and they're all pre-recorded, and we very much welcome sort of you to ask questions. There is sort of a chat function where you can ask, you can see that at the bottom of the screen. It says sort of chat there. You can ask questions, and Ulf will help out and provide that. We are very many people available here, the whole management team, or many people from the management team, including VJ all the way from Delhi, India as well, sort of. So you're more than welcome to ask questions during this. So over to you, Ulf. I think you are handling the production.
Yes. All right. Let's do the first presentation.
Welcome to this presentation on how will we pay in the future. I am Joachim Samuelsson, the CEO of a Swedish tech company Crunchfish, who have developed a new type of solution for digital payments. I'll try to take you through this over 20 slides, where each slide is lying on for exactly 20 seconds. It's called Pechakucha. I don't know if you ever experienced this before, but otherwise this will be your first time. So here goes. Cash is a great way of paying, actually. No dependency on the net. You can be private. It's sort of an instant type of payments mechanism. And this is the property that we'd like to replicate in our digital cash solution. This is something that complements any payment service of today with this feature. We already have digital money today. That's what lives in accounts, or if it's sort of in a crypto-based form. But digital cash is something different. It's about paying with cash, that function of paying with cash, but in a digital way. That's what we're trying to replicate with our digital cash. Cash is something that's been around for thousands of years, and then we've come up with various forms of digital ways. There are cards, there's instant payment, account to account, and then the latest addition here is crypto-based payment. We complement any of these 3 schemes, and that's what we'll go through today. But how we complement it is that we thought of this question: why on earth have we made ourselves dependent on the net when we pay? It's never used to be that way. We've been paying for thousands of years as human beings, and it's only the last sort of years that, all of a sudden we need a net to pay. We challenge that, and we come up with a digital cash solution. It's based on separating the moment of payment into 2 steps. First, there is an offline clearing so that the receiver could trust that they will be paid. or have been paid, and then a subsequent step, which is the online settlement when you move money between the accounts. It's facilitated in a 3-step process. First, you download money to your digital cash wallet. You have money in a digital cash account and you download it down to your wallet. Then you can pay P2P, person to person, or person to merchant. You sign off a transaction when you're paying, and then you are settling it as a subsequent step. This solution allows you to be private, and we're achieving that by actually, when we're signing off a transaction, we're splitting it into 2. You pay from you to the payment service, and then the payment service pays the receiver. That means that both banks, of the payer and the receiver, cannot sort of see where you have done your payment. The whole solution is extremely flexible. Any types of bearer instruments, smartphone cards, feature phones, any type of terminal is possible to receive payments on. And we're also completely agnostic to what kind of payment scheme that is used for the online settlement. If we look at the card services, there are debit cards, credit card, a prepaid card, a loyalty card. Digital cash is sort of at that level, a new card, which works like a prepaid card, but with a blocked account. So you can be guaranteed that the money is still there when this transaction that you do offline is going to be settled. For instant payment, what we add for instant payment is robustness. Instant payment is a very delicate system where a lot of things can go wrong. And if anything is broken, it doesn't work. But without digital cash service, we make it all work all the time because we made ourselves completely independent of the net. Then we have the crypto. Crypto is inherently very sort of an online type of payment service that needs to coordinate with blockchains to trust that payment. We can enable that even in an offline scenario. So this is the addition that we do. So you can use crypto payment as well as in retail for offline. The central banks, they are the ones that are issuing cash. And there is a transition going on in the world right now that physical cash is becoming not something that needs to be replaced for something more modern. And that is digital cash. So cash is dead, long live cash. There is a succession going on. And now I've sort of put out 4 digital forms of payments here, where at the top left corner, I put CBDC, and that stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. And there is a choice of how you want to implement CBDC, either as crypto or something that is just a currency that can be used on the account-based rails of today. And that sort of comes to this question: why must bank infrastructure really change in order to implement CBDC? There is a lot of thought that CBDC stands for that we're gonna do banknotes in a digital form. But perhaps you don't have to do it that way. And this would mean an enormous relief for the banking sector. And I'm trying to show that here with this matrix question of choosing the red pill versus the blue pill. The red pill is actually seeing just CBDC as a currency that can run on the normal account-based rails. And then the blue pill is actually then seeing as a token. We digitize the banknote. But there's a choice that the central bank can make. Either the red pill on the left here, a new currency, everything stays the same, or you implement CBDC as a token, a CBDC token, a value token, and then you have to build new FX exchange, which is based on crypto, and you have to rebuild the banking infrastructure. Our system is used with either. We are in discussion with Swish here in Sweden that is on an account-based rails doing millions of transactions every day, but we're also with eCurrency, who have developed a token-based system that are rolling out to the central banks in the world. So we don't really care for this sort of choice. Visa, who's also on the blue pill, they have done a token-based system, but they have done the same kind of hierarchy that we have. There is one level of trust where you establish that first, and then you can have the second tier where you can do offline payment system, just like crypto. But what we have in our system here is something that is extremely flexible, and it's a little bit over and above what Visa has been offering, because we can do cross-service, even cross-currency in our sort of type of solution. Our core product, we're calling it XOXO, which is the base of it. And any English-speaking person will know XOXO as something like hugs and kisses, and that's what we created our brand around. And this is a service which is sort of an extremely then flexible service in these 2 tiers. You can do private payments, it's scalable, it's interoperable, it could be on cars or mobile, it solves disaster scenarios, and it's implementation ready today. We have it. And that's very quickly here, our solution for digital cash. Please come and see us on xoxo.cash or crunchfish.com/digital cash, and we will be excited to tell you more about our solution. Thanks.
But, thank you very much for that, Pecha Kucha, the first out of 3 today, and hopefully everybody gets a little better understanding about what digital cash is all about and the offerings that Crunchfish is presenting to the market. But I know that we also have an obligation to touch on the 2020, the year of 2020, and I believe the next Pecha Kucha is more going into that, Joachim. But do we want to give room for questions in between?
If it's sort of completely flexible to the audience. If there is any questions now on our digital cash solution, we are happy to take that. But we can all, we can also take the questions at the end if there is no question so far. So then I guess we can run a second Pecha Kucha if people are ready for that.
That's excellent. And those of you that have questions, please remember those to the end of this meeting, and we can address those. Okay, thank you. Next Pecha Kucha.
Yes, next Pecha Kucha is coming up.
Welcome everybody. This is the second Pecha Kucha of today. I'm gonna be focused more on the annual report and what's this amazing company Crunchfish is all about. Solving is the future is the theme what we have on our website, and I believe that is sort of a good theme for this presentation as well. And as before, it's gonna be a Pecha Kucha, 20 slides, 20 seconds, so it's gonna be pretty fast, and then you're more than welcome to ask questions. Can you see into the future? We believe we can. We have, with our foresight and our technical ability, been able to create sort of great products and ideas for the future. This presentation is about the people, the partners, and the patents that enables this sort of future of ours. When I came in as a CEO about a year ago, I started to do interviews. And so far I've done 55 of them, divided up to 3 seasons. The first one was on swimmingly easy payments. The second one, Cash Goes Digital, Payment Pandemic. And now I've just launched sort of the 3rd season about partners and patents, because I think it is gonna be the partners and patents that gonna matter for us in order to create our position for the future, really. We need the partners in order to reach as wide as possible, and we need the patents in order to have a protected position in the market. The ecosystem that I see around digital cash is that we are trying to reach the payment services that are reaching the merchants in the world. But to get to them, we need the networks, the accounts, the account holders of the world, and also the switching processors that are serving all these payment services. The payment services, there are many today. They are on cards or on mobiles, but they are inherently online services. And what we have done in Crunchfish is to come up with a way where we can have all these payment services working in an offline mode, both on cards as well as on mobile. And that is sort of what we believe is going to be great for the future. The tech pioneers of Crunchfish and really of digital cash is sort of the founder, Paul Kronholm, and I guess myself. Of all these 40 innovations we've had, Paul and I are involved in probably 35 of them, many times together, sometimes just individually. What we chose early in Crunchfish is to go for India. This is the fastest growing market in the world, and we have great help there. These two gentlemen here, Vijay and Gagan, have 25 plus years of payment experience and are really helping us to establish our footprint there. We will have a breakthrough year, I think, in India this year. What we just added is two amazing sort of individuals as well, because if you're going to get power, you need to combine technical ability with marketing ability. And we're already pretty strong at that at Crunchfish, but with these two individuals, Magnus from Swish and Anna from Karuna, it's going to be even better. To be able to execute, I need sort of some joint chiefs really here. We have Patrick around digital cash. We have Linda in food waste as well as Blippit. And then Joachim Nydemark running our gesture business. This is sort of what operationally are driving sort of the business for the future. So let's look at some of the subsidiaries. Food waste. This came about, this sort of one really key idea. We understand that products going to change from being barcodes to QR codes. You can package much more information. And with that understanding, we came up with a great idea that it's possible to use that information to engage consumers, to give them a reward if they choose the product which doesn't have the longest shelf life. In this way, we can rescue enormous amounts of food in the world, and we've got a patent for this that we are hope to exploit in this company. We've always been about gesture, and this company has developed really strongly this year. We haven't focused so much on sales in this area, but we have taken the platform really to the next level. And this is for AR, but what is possible and what's really interesting is that we can take this gesture platform of ours even further. It's all built on a new sort of approach around a skeleton model. Every sort of hand has 21 points, and it's possible to exploit that to get really, really, real interaction using this sort of technology. The two sort of tech pioneers behind this has been Daniel Milesson, our head of R&D, as well as Anders Henriksson, who is sort of just a superb sort of engineer around neural nets. These two guys has driven that team into sort of greatness. And I'm happy to show you a little bit of what they've been able to do. Here you see, this is at our office, and we've placed some objects here, virtual objects here. And this person is sort of coming with their hands here, and you can see what will be possible to do in the future to interact with these objects, so it really feels natural. And here you see, using both hands in order to scale it in and out, and using a keypad here. This could be maybe done for logging into your experience, or maybe dialing here or whatever really. I'm very happy about the board we've had. Göran Linder, he's sort of stepped in as the chairman and done a great job. And I also want to thank Håkan and Patrick, who's going to leave us in the board. They've done a great service for us. We've decided to scale back a little bit on the board, the numbers of it, to just sort of 5 people. This is sort of something I want to talk about as well, is sort of how we've developed. I put it here in the graph there. Patrick Lindeberg, the head of Digital Cash, he's talking about the Lindeberg effect, because he came in as a CEO December 17 and it's just gone up. I also want to stress our market focus, or our equity analysis that come from Västra Hamnen. I also want to thank all shareholders. We are a very stable sort of shareholder base. This is our 10 biggest, but also all the people at the forums, the Crunchfish Aktieägar forum, at the Discord server, and also this wonderful present we got from Pelle Törnqvist, sort of a Crunchfish wobbler. And to thank everybody, because I think we will have an amazing year. At this amazing date, 21/11/12, we will have a great party. We had a great IPO party 5 years ago, and we're going to throw it again. And you're all welcome. So please come join us on the 12th of November this year. It's going to be an amazing party with this amazing company. So that sums it up. Sorry for if it was a bit fast, but I think we published so much information, both written and sort of with videos. So there's so much available really to you on our website. So I hope you enjoy that and keep interacting with us. We love all your feedback, and it's been a sort of great start of the year 2021, and I think this gonna be our breakthrough year. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Now, Crunchfish is active in a lot of different market segments, so I think it was actually a job well done having all those 5 segments presented in one slideshow during 6 minutes or so. So, of course, there is so much more to learn about it, but I think actually a lot of the reading related to that, where you could dive into, is presented in the annual report, and by all means also the quarterly reports that are being presented. So anybody that is eager to learn more can actually find useful information in those publications as well. I know we have a couple of questions, but since we agreed that we're going to run all 3 Pecha first, I think it's only fair to allow our accountant to rule on stage just now.
Hej, mitt namn är Åsa Andersson Eneberg och jag kommer från Massar. Föregående år vid samma tid så fick Massar förnyat förtroende av stämman att revidera räkenskapsåret 2020, och det är det jag tänker presentera resultatet av här. Joakim har tidigare presenterat årsredovisningen, och årsredovisningen består av en frivillig del från sidan 4 och framåt och en lagstadgad del som börjar på sidan 48 och framåt, och det är det som är det vi har reviderat och det jag rapporterar om här. Vår uppgift är att avlämna till ägarna en revisionsberättelse som är en avrapportering av vårt arbete för 2020 och som ska vara en hjälp för stämmans beslut om huruvida årsredovisning ska fastställas, vd och styrelse lämnas ansvarsfrihet och en disposition av årets resultat. Vårt arbete styrs av International Standards and Auditing och god revisionssed i Sverige, vilket närmare beskrivs i vår revisionsberättelse. Och vår granskning ska ge oss en rimlig grad av säkerhet om huruvida årsredovisningen innehåller väsentliga fel eller inte. Och jag tänkte idag få berätta om några viktiga bitar i vårt arbete. Det ena är oberoendet, ett är mitt revisionsteam och det tredje det är utförandet av revisionsarbete. Oberoendet är en viktig hörnsten i revisorns arbete. Det är viktigt att vi som besiktningsmän är oberoende i förhållande till bolaget, koncernen, ägarna, ledning och närstående. Och detta kontrollerar vi noga varje år. Bland annat får vi naturligtvis inte äga aktier i Crunchfish eller i några närstående bolag. Revisionen är en process som löper över ett helt år och den kan ju inte utföras av mig ensam, så därför tänkte jag passa på att presentera mitt team och lite mer om Massar, de som inte känner oss så noga. Själv heter jag Åsa och jag är huvudansvarig revisor och den som leder arbetet. Här i bilden längst ner till vänster så ser vi Helene som är det som så kallat produktionsansvarig. Sen har vi medarbetare i form av Robin som är manager. Vi har Sanna som inte är med på bild tyvärr. Vi har Per som var skatt och Ann-Charlotte som var särskild granskare. Massar är Sveriges 7:e största byrå. Vi är 300 personer på 10 orter. Och vi är en klassisk revisionsbyrå som erbjuder revision, skatt, redovisning, rådgivning, finansiell service som till exempel due diligence och värderingar. Och vi är väldigt tacksamma och toppennöjda med att Svensk kvalitetsindex som årligen undersöker kundnöjdhet. Därför har vi återigen fått utnämnandet att få ligga i topp. Och det är vi ju naturligtvis väldigt stolta över och vill få presentera. Massar internationellt, vi finns i 91 länder på 5 kontinenter. Vi har 40 000 anställda och vi är 1100 delägare som fysiskt träffas en gång om året när det inte är covid. Och där hjälper vi våra kunder att utveckla sina affärer. Själva revisionsarbetet utförs under hela verksamhetsåret. Vi startar upp strax efter semestrarna med planering och sen under hösten har vi lite löpande granskning. Och i januari i samband med bokslutet så kommer ytterligare granskning. Under hösten så tittar vi på hur ledning, styrelse och vd har lagt upp den interna kontrollen, hur man förvaltar bolaget, vilka processer man använder, vi testar dem för att komma fram till att de säkerställer den rapportering som sker. I januari när vi kommer till bokslutet så är det naturligtvis mycket fokus på siffror, men vi fortsätter även titta på förvaltning, bolagsstyrning och årsredovisning. Och detta avrapporterar vi vid bägge tillfällena, dels till vd och dels till styrelse och i form av revisionsberättelse till era ägare. Och vårt arbete det inriktar sig på väsentliga riskområden. Vi kan ju inte titta på varje enskild sak. Och här i Crunchfish till exempel så är de mest väsentliga riskområdena naturligtvis intäkter, forskning och utveckling, finansiering. Och så tittar vi på styrning och kontroll. 2020 har ju även revisionsbranschen påverkats av covid. Så vårt arbete har under året varit en kombo kan man säga av digitala revisioner och fysiska möten med styrelse och vd. Själva revisionen har varit helt digital, vilket har fungerat mycket bra och väldigt effektivt. Och därför tycker vi att vi har kommit fram till en slutsats och den har vi då längst bak i årsredovisningen i form av en revisionsberättelse. Och jag tänker highlighta det som är viktigt för er att känna till nu. Och det är att enligt vår uppfattning har årsredovisningen och koncernredovisningen upprättats i enlighet med årsredovisningslagen och ger en i alla väsentliga avseenden rättvisande bild av moderbolagets och koncernens finansiella ställning. Och vi tillstyrker därför att bolagsstämman fastställer resultaträkningen och balansräkningen för moderbolaget och för koncernen. Och utöver detta så har vi även utfört en revision av styrelsen och vd:s förvaltning samt förslaget av disposition beträffande bolagets vinst eller förlust. Och vi tillstyrker därför att bolagsstämman idag disponerar vinsten enligt förslaget i förvaltningsberättelsen och beviljar styrelsens ledamöter och vd ansvarsfrihet. I samband med noteringen så fattade styrelsen beslut om att man ville att bolaget skulle följa svensk kod för bolagsstyrning i de tillämpliga delar som det gick. Det är ett frivilligt åtagande och det är styrelsen som avlämnar rapport och den finns också att finna i årsredovisningen. Vårt arbete blir när det är en frivillig att vi gör en översiktlig granskning, inte en revision utan en översiktlig granskning. Och där kan man säga att vi har funnit att bolagsstyrningsrapporten är förenlig med årsredovisningen och koncernredovisningens övriga delar samt i överensstämmelse med årsredovisningslagen. Och därmed var min rapport slut, men jag hoppas att ni har möjlighet att ställa någon fråga härefter. Då finns jag tillgänglig för att svara på dem. Tack så mycket.
Great. Happy to learn that we could stand the test when the auditors did the scrutiny. So, and by that, I think all three Pechakuchas have been conveyed to the audience and you out there listening to this. But in order to get a bit more interactive, I see that we at least have one or two questions that we could address. So, dear member of the management team, have you been able to visualize those on your screens?
Yes, I have them on my screen. I can read them up to make things easier. We actually have 3 questions that have come in.
Yeah.
And I can start with the question from Johan Klingberg, who is one of our more active shareholders. He's also the moderator of our Facebook forum. And his question is as follows. Have the strategy changed after Crunchfish joined the Visa partnership program? The only announcement of partnership after the 19th of February is NextGen, and they were not mapped in the ecosystem as a partner. So That's the question.
Yeah, I guess I can answer that. No, I don't think the strategy has changed at all. We are still working to add more partners. There is quite a few in line. Next Gen was sort of one. It's nothing really has changed in terms of adding partners. I think it is very important for us. There has been some slowdown due to various reasons. Some are actually due to COVID, but we're certainly planning to add more. And Next Gen is very much a partner. Would I map it in? It would be someone that would come in linked to our sort of the payment app, just like the TISIS relationship. Next Gen is quite a similar type of technology provider as TISIS link there, but it's certainly sort of adding to our partner ecosystem, Next Gen, and nothing has changed in wanting us to add more, and we still believe it's extremely important to us to work that way.
Yes. And I think I can also just briefly mention to Johan that our website has since been updated, and Next Gen is actually listed in our partner section. We can take another question that Johan has also written before we go into the Q&A session. And in an earlier presentation, we mentioned that we are working on two-hand gestures. So this is a question from the side. So what is the progress on that? And would we be the first to do this?
Yes, so okay, good. So yeah, I'm happy to address that question. Joe Camillemark here, CEO of Gesture Interaction. So yeah, we are certainly working on the two-hand gesture control. And what I can add in this context is that this is not only a matter of sort of doing two hands with the camera, it's also a matter of doing it with a stereoscopic kind of solution where you use two cameras. So we will provide this kind of solution here during Q2, where we enable sort of gesture interaction using hands with a stereoscopic kind of camera setup. Whether we are the first in the world, I would say that there are a few providers out there, but there is actually no solution that is currently working really well in the context of augmented reality glasses. And if we accomplish what we believe we are capable of, I think we will be the first really well working solution in the world.
Great. We have another question from Mr. Jinrui Chang regarding XOXO.cash. And his question is that, are there any main competitors towards XOXO.cash at the moment?
I can take that. I think the closest is Visa. And as we announced when we decided to go global within the area of CBDC, because Visa's solution is focused on CBDC. And we were asked in a meeting with the central organization for all central banks to present on what are the similarities and what are the differences with our solution and Visa solution. So I believe it is the Visa solution which is closest. And there are sort of three key similarities to what Visa has done and what we have done. But what was really, and I must say it actually surprised me that we identified no less than 27 differences. So we're not a copy paste, or Visa is not just a copy paste of our solution, but we have sort of taken this solution beyond what Visa has. And if you read their research paper, they did say that when they came out in December last year that, well, here is an idea. We believe in this very strongly. We were happy about that because it does build on what we had a year ago. But they also said that they're going to continue developing the solution. And I believe that many of those 27 differences that we were able to point to, is in the area where Visa would like to take this solution. So I think we have a head start. So that this is where we are very, very strong in this round XOXO.cash. The alternative to do offline payment solution is to do it using a token that you pass around even in an offline mode. But that is a complicated solution, I think, to launch because there are risks with that solution. So I believe we fundamentally have a better approach, just like Visa has also established that it's better to have a transactional based token, that you sign off a transaction from somebody to somebody with a value. That's sort of what we build our solution, and that's sort of what Visa has done also. So I believe that approach is the better approach, but there are solutions in the market where they are having a value token being passed around in an offline mode, but it's usually quite difficult to have that as a secure solution. So I think what we have here is a solution that will win out in the future. And I believe also that what sets us apart here is that we have already realized that our solution is applicable not only for central bank digital currency, digitizing cash, but also for the current schemes, you know, real-time payments of today, and the other main scheme, which is card schemes. So we have a solution that already takes these solutions into more robustness with our approach, and there I think we are sort of second to none. So there are so many different ways to take our solution into the future here, and I see we're ahead in this area, and there are others, and the closest we have is sort of what Visa has done, and as you know, we are a partner of Visa, but this is sort of, we became a partner. It was sort of driven a little bit from the India side, that they understand that in the Indian market, you need sort of like an offline solution. So the partnership came in from that route, whereas what Visa has done, which is sort of coming from their crypto team, cryptocurrency team in California. So it's sort of not really related, but at some point, I think our paths will probably meet, and we will have to discuss with Visa what we have done, which is applicable for them also in the CBDC area. But so far, it's been more driven from the current need of India and what we can do with there. I don't know if that was an answer, but it was at least it was an answer at least for I think what he's asking.
Yes, and we actually have another question from the same person. Will there be a major scale up of the company in terms of size as a result of our technologies being more and more mature? Also, let's see here, of the technologies being, and also regarding the development of our technologies and the commercialization. So the question is, will there be a major scale up? And if so, when is that expected to occur?
The short answer would be no. I don't expect a major scale up, because I think we've built a platform with very few people, and I think we will be able to leverage that platform. I think there will be additions. We've just added 2 this week with Magnus Lagersson as the CPO of Digital Cash, and we have added Anna Bostam, who will come in as our CMO. So we will grow, but a major scale up, I don't see that coming. I think we could be extremely effective the way we are, and working with partners to, in that way, achieve scale. So I think we can actually stay quite fast and nimble for the foreseeable future. But given growing and we will add people, but in a major way, no, I think this is extremely scalable in that we don't have to add too much cost, but we could potentially add so much more revenue instead without adding too much personnel then.
Great. We have another question regarding cryptocurrency. Do you have any plans in entering the cryptocurrency market with your own cryptocurrency? People remember we launched Crunchcoin a while back.
That wasn't. I think our plan with Crunchcoin was to show that our offline payment capability is equally applicable also there. As I explained in one of these Pechakuchas, is that cryptocurrency is extremely an online type of payment service, but we could become the offline part of that. But for the reason why we did it was to show the capability, and rather to have our own cryptocurrency, the focus was more to show the ability and being able to approach, I guess, the very booming cryptocurrency world, to show that we could become the offline payment capability of that. And it's applicable for the general sort of cryptocurrencies of today, but also for anyone who want to swallow the blue pill, and in terms of the CBDC, going down a CBDC token route, which is also a crypto-based approach, and we can certainly be the offline payment service there, and we are with our partners of eCurrency. This is sort of one example where we're showing that, but we showed it also with our own cryptocurrency, Crunchcoin. But the plan was not to go to market with our own cryptocurrency.
All right, I think those are all the questions that we have gotten so far. So if there are any more in the audience who like to ask questions, you can do so in the chat or in the Q&A function.
Okay, I don't see any more questions. This has been a very condensed format, but hopefully informative for everybody involved. But there is one question now popping up related to India, and maybe Vijay could answer that one. And the question is, how are the business in India progressing?
Sure, happy to take that. So as Joachim mentioned a bit earlier, I mean, we have quite a few interested parties and partners. We are obviously going the partner route, and we have some very big companies that we are in conversations with. Obviously, right now India is impacted by COVID, so in the last few weeks it's been a bit slow given the situation, but some very interesting and very large partner opportunities that we are all very keenly working on. The solution is very well accepted in the market. So I must say that the relevance is very large, given that all the banks are facing tremendous issues with fast growth in digital payments over the last 18 months. So bank servers are not able to handle transactions. So our offline solution works very well. And then there's a big chunk of India where internet is very, very patchy or doesn't exist. And to expand digital payments to those areas, which is a huge government priority, traditional real-time payments don't help, right? Which is where our solution is very relevant, and a lot of partners are interested in doing that. So yeah, I think this year will be very good. Hopefully we have a few nice partners that we'll be able to announce in a short while.
Excellent. I think it's important to understand that we are very eager to exploit the Indian market and see a lot of opportunities together. But even though we're more gradually increasingly eager to do that, we must also understand that the scope is actually expanding. India was the first market outside of Sweden, basically, but the generic functionality of what we're offering is relevant to a lot of other countries than India as well. But I think you're spearing the market to some extent here now, aren't you, Vijay?
Absolutely. I think in terms of sheer development of digital payment solutions, India is far ahead than most other countries. So it's a great place to pilot and test and learn, and then you can implement here and then take it to lots of other places in the world. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have got another question, which is actually touching on the same subject. The question is, are there any plans to introduce this service into East Africa? And maybe I can actually expand the question. Which other markets are we currently looking at apart from Sweden and India?
We still focus on Sweden and India, but through our partners, we are getting opportunities sort of elsewhere as well, and we are happy about that. Viki are exploring some of their customers are in other markets than Sweden and India, and we are engaged with that. E-currency the same way, and so we are already today. It's taking us elsewhere. We've also said that in the area of CBDC, central bank digital currency, because we decided to go global, because we've had already now discussions with the central organization of the central banks. We participated in a great conference, which was really a global conference around CBDC, and we feel that this is much wider than just Sweden and India. So in that area, we've also said let's go anywhere. So we're taking this step. Obviously, this is, I think, a global play, but there is no direct plans right now for East Africa, although that maybe through some of our partners, they will introduce opportunities. We wouldn't say no, we would be part of that. Because what we need right now is sort of proof of concept to try to roll out our solution and show the benefit of it. And with that, I think the snowball effect will start following, really. Yeah, that's where we are.
Great. Let's see. We don't have any further questions at the moment that I can see.
May I just comment on the rollout strategy, because we have established a partner strategy whereby we sort of allow ourselves presence in various markets through the hands and channels of the partners that we have working together. We're now working together with. And I think that before we really push the start button to go to have a bigger launch on a global scale, there is a need for a critical mass of partners that will allow functionality to be spread basically all over the place once we get started. So what is very encouraging to see is the growing number of highly prominent partners that will actually facilitate this. So I can anticipate that, yes, we see India as a front runner, but definitely there will be, I don't see any country left outside of this once we have fully succeeded with the launch, even though it's a stepwise procedure where the first step needs to have that critical mass established. And by that, I believe that we have actually concluded this meeting, or shall we take any last question, or is there, have we sort of addressed all of those now, Ulf?
Yes, all the questions that we have gotten have been answered. I can just briefly mention that this entire presentation, as well as all 3 individual Pecha presentations, will also be available afterwards. We will upload them on YouTube channel and on our website as well.
Göran, you may want to say something about that, because this is a very unusual format. That this is in a way the presentations that we would normally do at our annual meeting, but this year, due to COVID, we won't have an annual meeting. But you may want to comment a little bit about the voting procedure and you know, what this is sort of a part of that whole process that we sort of start today, really. I think that might be good for all the people listening.
Thank you for reminding me. Actually, I voted on behalf of Midrock Invest, the second largest shareholder, early this morning. So it's a swift process, but which is advantageous to those that are short on time, but it's not the best way of actually having the interaction with the shareholders. But there are so many restrictions now that we have to take into consideration due to the COVID situation. So I think this is the best we can offer. Everybody gets a chance to, well, of course, vote electronically or digitally over the internet. You could actually mail ordinary post as well, but probably everybody interested in Crunchfish would be in favor of doing this in a digital manner. To convey, this is more like broadcasting rather than interaction, which is a part that we strive towards in during normal circumstances, having a annual general assembly. But to partly compensate for the lack of interaction and possibly the lack of verbal information, this is a way to bridge that. So hopefully, once again, given the situation, this is at least good enough. And the actual date when the annual general assembly is concluded is on the 19th of May, but you could already go ahead and vote.
I can just mention we just got a last question in on the chat forum. We can perhaps take that one as well. Any news on the relationship with Swish? Do you still feel this could go to the market any soon, or is it still stale due to decision from the banks?
It will not go to the market sort of soon, but what we are waiting for right now is this competition that we're in. We are in the innovation challenge from PTS, and the news from that will be announced early June. Giving a good result there from that competition, we could get funding. It's up to 3 million krona, and that will help, I think, both Crunchfish and Swish to just go ahead and build the solution. So we need to build it first also. Given this question, can we launch it soon? We need to build it and integrate it first. But with the thanks to hopefully getting funding from this competition, then we are at the point where we can just go ahead. But Swish is sort of is owned by the banks, and they need to be on board as well. Winning the competition will help that we could take the solution a little bit further before involving the banks. If we don't win, then I know that the people from Swish are still very keen and interested in the solution, but they will have to ask for funding from their owners in order to do the project. So that will have to happen. But right now, I think we've decided with Swish that let's just wait until early June when we will have the announcement, and then that will sort of help, hopefully, to get this as quickly as we can to market. But we can't expect us to launch soon, as we still have to do some development work, and then the other step is sort of to get the distribution channel of Swish and their owners, which is the banks, all our commercial banks, really part of this journey. But we think we have a good chance. The banks in Sweden, they're all regulated by the FI, and they're all asking the banks that how will they manage in the future, because Swish is so important for Swedish society, so they need to stabilize the service. And as I discussed in some of these Pisakuchas, any of these real-time services are quite vulnerable. There are many things that needs to work all at the same time. If anything is broken, the service doesn't work. And we believe that the contribution here of adding digital cash to Swish is very much the solution for that. And we hope we will get the banks to see that as well, and that will also, I think, propel and accelerate their interest in actually taking this to market. So right now we're sort of hoping for a good result in early June when the PTS Innovation Challenge will be announced.
Thank you.
Thank you. And by that, if I haven't forgotten anything more, Joachim,
No, you're doing great, Göran. You're doing great. So no, I just thought it was good to mention that this is part of the annual sort of general meeting procedure in a very unusual way.
Yeah, yeah. And hopefully we got the message across. And I would like to thank everybody being present, and those of you in the audience that have listened, and also put forward some questions that we have had the pleasure to address. And thank you all, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Göran.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.